even within a single country, various types of action coexist, and they are not necessarily consistent with each other. Since what we found are several different actions, we tried to make sense of them and to group them, to classify into a policy typology, which is based on two main variables. First variable. Policies may have an explicit or an implicit urban focus. What does it mean? It means that in explicit urban policies, there is an urban target, an officially stated urban target, which provides the spatial criterion through which problems to be dealt with are identified. So urban problems need urban action targeted to cities. When actions are only implicitly urban, we have actions that produce important consequences on cities, but which are carried out without such a specific special criterion, so that they have an impact on cities, but their urban impact is incidental. Second variable is about the direct or indirect effects of policies, of state policies on cities. Thank you. The effects, the impacts can be direct when state actions have the effect of tackling urban challenges without the interposition of other actors. So directly, state administration perform their policies, and there is an impact on cities, on economic life, on social life of cities. But there are also other situations where actions are indirect, that is, state actions provide other actors with the conditions and resources for taking on urban challenges through their own policies, and this especially concerns local governments or regional governments. So, according to this, this framework, there are 4 types of policy possible. Let us see, first of all, the explicit and direct, first on the left. Which kind of policies? We have what are usually called area-based programs. Area-based programs that I will tell about them, which are the main aspects, but they are mostly addressing economic problems of cities, or social problems of cities, or the new entry as a key issue for area-based programs, especially in the UK and in France, has been that of security, of urban security, with a lot of initiatives and special policy instruments. So this is the typology of area-based programs. Of course, in different countries, area-based programs are different, but they share some aspects. They have some aspects in common. That is, there are a narrow special target that corresponds to those zones within urban areas where economic or social problem or shortfalls arise, and they are witnessed by indicators of deprivation. They have in common a model of action, usually consisting of major decisions and the rule of the game established at the national level, and procedures of competitive bidding between cities in order to get grants from the central government, and an implementation needing cooperation with the local level, and also centralized procedures of assessment or evaluation. Such programs also have a smaller financial size and duration and time duration than mainstream state policies. Thus, they have a minor impact on cities, but also they have more resiliency. They are more flexible than mainstream state policies. They have a tendency to hypertrophy, sometimes due to the coexistence of multi-year initiatives launched by former and new governments, with the consequent possible coexistence of actions that refer to different strategies. And finally, they all share a relationship with the EU's urban policy, which is a relationship of reciprocal influence. Let's think about the urban initiative and pilot project before it, and so on. So in the text that is available for you, you can find details about the policy frames, the policy narratives, the goals, the instruments, and also the alternatives that such programs have had to consider. But I'm not going in depth on this because of time. Let's turn to the explicit and indirect urban policies. They are very different. They consist of measures of, we can say, respecialization, of change of affecting the relationships, boundaries of local government or relationships among them. And these policies are based on a belief, which is rather spread, according to which infra-urban competition would lead to zero-sum games. So not to foster an urban area's competitiveness. This is why governments adopt measures aiming to reduce institutional fragmentation and to induce cooperation in the making of policies at the level of urban regions, agglomeration, and metropolitan areas. So the reform of this day about the long history of the reform of metropolitan areas government in Italy tells a story about how much can be difficult, but also about how much the thematization, the frame, the meaning of the reform can change over years, because the reasons why in Italy now we are speaking of metropolitan government is far different from the reason why we used to speak about this 30 years ago. There wasn't a discourse of competitiveness. It was only a discourse about scale economy of services. We can see it in the UK weak regionalism if compared to other experience. We can see it in French établissement public de coopération intercommunale. And such measures cannot be found in Germany and in Spain because of the already powerful meso levels of government, Länder, Comunidades Autónomas. I forgot to say that the area-based programs cannot be found in Spain, at least as a national policy, because, for example, in Madrid there are the planes especiales de inversiones that are area-based programs, but not belonging to or under the control of central government.